Hi guys, good evening. So this is Aravind. Um, this is Aravind here, fitness coach, and I founded Habbfit. As part of this, we do coaching and help people to get fit physically and mentally. So along with me, Mr. Zainul is there. So he's one of our client, and he did amazing transformation. And I think he started his journey around 92 kgs and with the body fat percentage of 34%, if I'm not wrong. And then I think now he's around 68 or 69 kgs with 15 to 14% body fat. So that's Jainul's transformation, and we just wanted to see how was his journey and how he transformed himself. What were the struggles he faced before starting a fitness journey, and how did he actually overcome, and how did overall journey has been. So we're going to start. So hi Jainul, how are you?
I'm good. Hi. Well, I could just give a short introduction about myself.
Yeah,
My name is Zainul. I'm from India, but like I grew up in Dubai, and now I'm in university in Canada studying finance.
that's great. That's great, Jainul. Yeah. So before you started, Jainul, I still remember some of the questions which you asked during the journey. Before you started, that's when we were talking about. Our main focus is going to be simply keep it simple as simple as possible, and you
Yeah.
can continue to eat what you are eating, and you continue to do. You don't need to sacrifice anything. I still remember that you asked me a question, is it true? So is when you said that, when you asked me that, can I eat anything and still get fit? I said yes, you can. So it's all about the we using a science behind the weight loss or fat loss, we mainly call it as. And I just wanted to ask you, what was the main challenges you faced before starting a journey with the Habfit? So can you just give us a little, what was your pain points and
Yeah, of course. I think one of the like I was just in a misconception, I'd say, before I actually joined like Habfit and started like a proper training program. I used to play sports before. I used to play cricket a lot before, and I think that's when I was fit. Because I mean that's just consistently playing every day, so just sort of makes you fit. And I never really thought about like diet and training, and then because I just used to have fun playing cricket. But I'd say into the pandemic, when like I stopped playing anything and I was just like stuck at home.
yeah,
When I eased down, I used to go to gym, and I think that was one of the biggest problems I had was consistency and having a misconception of what I'm meant to eat. I used to try keto diets or like whatever I saw online, and I don't know. I think just in the inconsistency and the misconception that I need to stop eating certain things like didn't help me particularly. So I think that was one of the biggest problems I had. But I guess once like I realized that it's about the right quantities and the right amount and the mix of the diet that matters more than what like specifically you eat,
yeah.
and also just being consistent with that diet and also consistent with the gym and with the other training that you're taking on. I think
Yeah.
that was the most important part to actually seeing change. And I think I'd probably say the consistency and just the misconception of what to eat was probably what was I was struggling with before I joined HapFit.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think most of the people actually go through this. They say that the moment we say that, I need to start a fitness journey, they feel that they need to give up all the foods, and your routine has to be 360 degrees different. So that's
Yeah.
absolutely wrong. So what we did with the Jainul's transformation is we started focusing on small steps at a time. So first week, I think we focused on diet more, and then slowly we introduce all the six simple steps. So, and he's been consistent, and I still remember when we first time I gave a diet, I said that you can still eat your rice, you can eat your mother cooked the dal and all kind of a chapati and other ones. So I still remember that you asked, can I eat rice, can I eat ice cream part of my diet? I said yes, you can still enjoy it. And can you just share your experience about that? And I know you are stretching me on this. Then I said you can go ahead and eat and still. Can you just give me the introduction, your experience about first few days? There are a
Yeah,
few weeks, I think you were eating more so much, but still you're losing. And I still remember. I don't know how it is happening. It's a kind of a magic you mentioned when we started.
yeah. I think it was just very surprising because I wasn't sort of. I think it was the perfect amount of food because I think what I used to do at least before, or what I've seen in like the Indian culture is that you eat food, you eat a lot of food, and
Yeah,
like you eat to the point where you like go into like you're just tired afterwards and you don't feel like doing anything. So what I first realized from like the diet was it was the perfect amount of food. It wasn't too less that you were still hungry, and it
yeah,
wasn't too much that like your stomach extremely full, you're bloated and you just want to go to sleep. So I
yeah,
think that's the one thing I felt because it was actually energizing the amount of food you eat. You felt healthy afterwards as well,
yeah,
and like you just felt better for the rest of the day. I think that was a like a big change from my previous diets of like how I used to eat, like maybe skip meals and then like eat a lot in one meal, which is obviously like very unhealthy. So this was in that sense, I'd say it was a big change. But one thing I noticed personally in like again my diet because like I used to eat properly at a like in an Indian home was we use a lot of oil in our food.
yeah,
So that change was actually a big difference because it was the same exact food I would eat just with lesser oil. So you
yeah,
wouldn't even notice much of a change. You could have like biryani. I remember because I was leaving for university, my mom would make biryani, but she would just put less oil, so it would be the same amount of protein, the correct
yeah,
amount of rice, with less oil, so it would still be like the same amount of healthy.
yeah.
So I think just that was a big difference that I could still eat whatever I wanted to eat just in the right quantities. And in that sense, it would also taste good, it would feel healthy,
Yeah.
and you just feel energized for the rest of the day.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned a right point, the taste. So most of the people thinks when they start a diet, they have to eat the tasteless food. I think that is
Yeah,
the biggest misconception. As long as you're eating in within your calories, you can eat biryani, you can eat pizza. I think you can even eat pasta. I still
yeah.
remember one week you asked about can I eat a pasta, then you had a good amount of pasta that week.
Pasta was a change. Yeah,
Yeah.
pasta was really nice to eat every. I had it a lot that a few times there. Yeah,
Yes, and another thing I wanted to ask you, Jainul, is I think during this journey, I think you had a lot of travel between. I know you joined a new university, and you had to travel. You have, I think this is the first time you are going out of your home, right? You all these years you are with your family, and you're able to prepare it. Your mother
yeah.
used to prepare the meals. So how was your experience, and how were you were able to continue your still journey? I think I remember when you left in last December, you were around 80 some, I think 80 kg something, and but you still progressed a long journey from that time. So how you used to manage your food and even away from the home?
Yeah, I think that was one thing I was like very like worried about because I left 1 month into when I started Habbfit, and in
Yeah,
that 1 month itself, I'd seen like change because I lost like 4 to 5 kgs, I
yeah,
think, and like I was feeling healthy. But what I was worried about was as soon as I leave from here, like there's not going to be home cooked food anymore. So like that's going to be a struggle to deal with.
yeah,
But sort of what I realized was when I came here was it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I
yeah,
know it would be best if it was perfect, but like it doesn't always work out in it. Like my situation right now, I'm living alone.
yeah,
I don't have enough time to sort of go cook the correct amount of food for everything. So certain days, I mean, breakfast is always easy. You just have eggs for breakfast, but
yeah,
for the rest of the meals, I wouldn't really have the time to cook. So I think if you eat around the right ballpark, and generally here they put calories on every single thing that you order,
yeah,
and although they don't tell you the ingredients, you can sort of make out from what you eat how good it is in terms of how much protein it would have, how much oil it would have, and
yeah,
all those ingredients. So I think what I just did was rather than trying to be perfect with what I eat, I just sort of went around the right area. And when I was doing that, I kept seeing change. So
yeah,
that's what I just continued to do. And I think another thing that I did was I also, in the middle for certain months, I would subscribe for these Indian restaurants that would do home like
modified.
would do different services. So they would
Yeah,
send food every day,
mhm,
and just based on that, I would eat the right amount of like chapatis, the right amount of curry to eat with that, and I just try to follow it that way. And I focus more on the total number of calories rather than the each percent, like the each number of grams that I would
Yeah.
have. So I think just as long as you're in the right like ballpark, in the right area around what diet you should have, it should be all right from there. Yeah.
That's awesome, Jainul. I think you mentioned the right point. It's not about the perfection; it's about the progress. So that's one of the right word you used. People most of the times they wait for the perfect time, and for example, there's some of the days if you go off track, they lose everything because I was not being perfect for the 2 days. It's not about perfection all the time. And first of all, there's no perfection. That's what you proved with your journey. As long as you be consistent, even if you're at 70%, 80% of near to your plan, you can still see the result. So that's what happened with your journey as well. And also I wanted to touch base one more point. I think one of the important point we also mentioned started during the before we started our journey. I spoke about the mindset, and I remember you followed very strictly, and I think you wrote down that goal, and you also told me that day that our goal has been achieved. Whatever I have written is coming true. So can you just explain me about that, and how would your overall journey has changed your mind, and especially about your mindset and other stuff? Uh,
Yeah, so I think that was a good day when we achieved the goal,
yeah,
because when I wrote it down, to be honest, that was at the start of the journey. I'd say maybe
yeah,
the first week,
yeah,
and to be honest, I was still very unsure about like a training program. I wasn't sure how effective it would be, how it would work. So actually, when it happened, it wasn't surprising, because obviously I could see the progress still that day. But it was good. Like it felt great. Obviously, I mean, you have a goal and you actually work to achieve the goal. Like the entire process is there, so it's a nice feeling. But in terms of mindset, I think at least I had this problem as well, and I think a lot of people have this problem, is that they focus too much on uh, like the image of looking good as someone like they're working out. I think
yeah,
that's even I had this problem. I would try to focus on how I look, how other people like see me, and
yeah,
I think I just realized after you start to lose like the weight, or after you come closer to your goal, you start to realize that it isn't as important. Like more important is what's your goal of how you
yeah,
want to look. And I
yeah,
think that's what people need to focus on more. It'll allow them to achieve their goals more. But
yeah,
also just in terms of like mindset, again, I'd say is you gotta just it shows you what like if you eventually are able to like do this consistently and lose weight, or achieve your goal, it
yeah,
shows you that you can do anything. And I think
yeah,
that it sort of makes you more confident, even in all the other activities of your life, in your professional career,
yeah,
in your careers, in whatever you're trying to achieve in the rest of your life. It just makes you more confident that if there's a process, if you stick to the process, keep following it, then eventually everything will work out, and you will be in the like you will achieve whatever your goal is. So I think it's just helped me be more increase my own self confidence, and also just keep working. Like I always have faith that if you just keep working, I will eventually like reach my goal and achieve whatever I want to in any part of my life.
that's awesome. That's awesome, Jainul. I think you started using goal setting in other parts of your life as well. I
Yeah.
think all the best for you, and I wish you to reach each and every goal. I think that is one of the biggest thing we cover is a mindset. So if you see any kind of a fitness program, most of the times people talks about diet and exercise. Those are important, but without your mind is set, nothing is gonna work. So your mind is very powerful. What is the image in your mind is actually dictates where you want to reach. So that's what exactly it happened, and continue to use that in other parts of your life. I think you will grow to the bigger and bigger levels in your career, and
Yeah.
wherever you go. And apart from that, what is other things you learned during this journey? I think we certain point of time you started creating your own diet. I remember that right now you know how many, what is the macros, what is the proteins, and how that is exactly helping you to continue your journey.
I think it's good, like obviously in situations like these, since
Yeah,
like at least when you maybe when you don't know how to cook, or you don't have like someone at home to cook you food, like your mom.
Yeah.
I think it's good in those situations because since it's almost been a year. I think it'll be a year next month in
Yeah.
August that we started. So um, you just keep following it so much. Like I know on the diet sheet, at least now that it's been a year, like almost stopped updating it on the diet sheet there because I just sort of do it in my head. But you remember exactly how much protein you're meant to have, and I think at least for my diet, that was the most important thing, is the amount of protein I have
Yeah.
matches like my strength training. But even the other ingredients, I think just uh, if you know how much to have of each item, then it doesn't really matter what dish you have or
Yeah.
what someone else tells you to have. You can if your entire diet and the dishes you have are a mix of all those different ingredients, like a certain amount of protein, a certain amount of fat, a certain amount of carbs. If it's a mix of all of those, then it's fine as long as whatever you have. So I
Yeah.
think that's what I did. I had a weighing scale for like my food, a food weighing scale. So I
Mhm.
would weigh the amount for each one, and I would have it based on that. So at sometimes when I do have time, I actually try to cook, and I focus on trying to make my own meals that
Yeah.
can be the right diet. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I try to order from outside and sort of figure out my diet from there.
Yeah, I think it gives a lot of flexibility. So that's what, as a Habbfit,
Yeah,
we what we do is, along with the journey, we also teach what is most important for you to continue it. Because I know you've been traveling, and you still able to consistently see the progress that is happened because you had that interest, and you started, doing that little extra effort to understand these macros, and you're able to continue it. I'm really glad that you had you actually understood what exactly it is, and you took it as a challenge to learn that.
yeah,
And how you're feeling right now, I think it's one of the biggest achievement, and I'm really proud of you. The way you actually, your journey is something like, it gives me a goosebumps, because I never saw, especially with this teenage age, there's a lot of emotions and other, party, social life, all this comes into the picture. But you've been consistent, and you're able to follow the plan, and you achieved it's I think a remarkable achievement what you did. And I just wanted to understand what was your response around you and your family, and what was their response when they saw your transformation. Maybe because a lot of people will, like, saw you before and now, right? So
yeah. I think a lot of it is also just balance, like in
yeah.
terms of the parts of your life. As
Yeah.
long as you balance it equally, it should be fine. If you focus on one thing too much, obviously it'll be a little bit. It won't work. At least I don't believe it will work out well. Uh, in terms of how I'm feeling now, obviously I feel good, like in terms of how far I've come. But of course, I mean, Arvind, you knows that there's more of a goal.
Yeah.
We still have to work towards the final goal. So
Yeah.
I guess still I'm still in the mood. Like I'm still sort of like I just want to keep working.
Yeah.
Uh, like improve my strength training, improve my body, however I want to reduce my body fat percentage. So yeah, still looking forward to achieving those goals. So I'm still in that mindset, which is good. In terms of like how the reactions,
Yeah.
I'd probably say it's a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
Uh, it gets too much when every single person, like you go back. I go back to Dubai, and
Yeah.
because I went back when I left Dubai, I was still about 85 kgs, and when I went back the first time, I think I dropped to 70.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of a change there, and every single person I meet, my friends, my family, my like family friends, just any single person I met would be the same thing of just oh, you've changed so much, how, and I'm just like, I don't know, just diet, gym. It's like, what do you meant to say to that, unless because no one's willing to actually sit and take on an entire process of what you
Yeah.
did. But yeah, I'd say it's nice at first to like people can notice the change, but after one point it does get a little annoying. But yeah, it's all still nice. Everyone's still like appreciating what happened, how
Yeah.
you changed. So in that sense, it is nice.
Yeah, I think it gives you a lot of confidence and that
Yeah,
happiness, right? So you really did
yeah,
something great, and that too because one thing is very important is our body and our mind is the most important thing because these two are in your control. Every part of your life will be in control. I think that you are that maybe you experienced it. That I experienced with my journey. That's how I started giving back to the people, and I want them to experience it. And yeah, I think that's about it. And I wanted to ask you one last question. I know we gone into a stages. I think what is if you see the overall the way we focused on sustainable habits. So I know that right now most of your routine has been automatically happening. So what was your take on it and how you going to take it forward? I think you already mentioned that you want to continue it, and I just wanted to ask you like how you wanted to how you want to continue it and what you want to tell the age on you or the people who are about to start their journey. So if you want to just say something so that it will help them to start their journey, and also it will give them kind of a motivation. Definitely, your story is very inspiring, and that will definitely help other people to also take decision.
I think it's just a matter of time.
Yeah,
I think the most important thing is if you stay consistent with it, at least for me, after like 2 months of consistently going gym and consistently following my diet, it sort of just becomes a habit for you. Like
yeah,
till this date, if I don't go gym for 2 days in a row, it feels like sort of in the sense if I miss gym 2 days in a row, that
yeah,
feels weird to me,
yeah,
and like I feel agitated with that feeling, and I
yeah,
feel I don't like it. So I think that's just a habit that gets built into you, and that's also with your diet. The day sort of if one day you sort of like let go and I mean, this is kind of personally for me is at least when I let go and maybe I have one night I'd have like pizza or maybe I'll have like something unhealthy that I could have had something else that would be healthier. I feel a bit of guilt, obviously, and I think that's just another thing as to your how your habits change and you sort of then although those things are tasty or you might like them, it gets to the point where you're actually not like you're not craving it that much
yeah,
anymore, which is good. Uh, at certain days, I guess having a pizza here or there, having ice cream here or there is
yeah,
obviously fine if you can control it within your diet. But
yeah,
yeah, I think just if you do it consistently enough, it will turn into a habit, and it
yeah,
will you'll see that it becomes a habit. At least with the gym, I think is a big thing there. And even with your diet, I think if you have it for so long consistently,
yeah,
it can't just automatically change that your body just doesn't want to do it. Like your body's stuck with that. It likes that because you're making yourself healthier, you're
yeah,
becoming more energized. So you just tend to like that feeling more. And I think that's what you push yourself to keep doing. So I think just having that consistency at the start to keep going,
yeah.
because you won't see any changes at the start. But when you do start seeing changes, that's when you'll be like, oh, this is actually working. So I should continue to do this, and then it'll eventually form into a habit, which is good. I think just sticking it out through the start and then finally making it to the end. I think that's the difficult part about forming it into a habit.
That's great, Jainul. And what is next? What is your next goal? So that maybe a year later, I think we'll have one more interview, and maybe that time we will as I always say that whatever we say, it'll happen. So I just want
Yeah.
to hear that, and then we'll end the call.
What was you said my body fat percentage is 14 to 15%, right?
Yeah,
Single digit body fat percentage goal under 10%. I think
yeah,
that would be a good goal to set.
awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jainul. Thank you so much for this time, and keep inspiring. And I know your transformation is going to inspire millions and millions of people. So keep doing all the work and keep writing down all your goals. And we during this journey, I think along with the fitness goal, I wish you to reach each and every goal you write down will come true. And all
Yeah.
my blessings and all my gratitude is with you. And take care and have a great day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I just want to say thank you as well. I mean, you could say blessings and everything, but Yeah, I got to attribute it to you as well. Like, thank you for like getting me into it and starting, because I guess if I didn't like meet you or start with you, I wouldn't have seen any change. So thank you for that.
No problem, Zainul. I think it's a pleasure. I think I think one of you have been one of most consistent, and the one great thing is it always gives me more happiness that you understood what is exactly it is, and you cracked the code. So that's what I can say. So keep continuing it, and we're going to go much higher levels, and we keep progressing in our journey.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care, Jainul, and have a great day.
You too. Yeah.